This is the Voice Coach Podcast for all the tips and tricks on getting the most out of your speaking voice. I'm Nick Redman, and I'll be sharing everything you need to know to keep your voice healthy, sounding great, and working the way it should. If you're an actor, voiceover, speaker, presenter, or podcaster, you're in the right place. Hopefully it'll be a wee bit of crack too. Let's get started. Welcome back. And look, it wouldn't be a series on articulation if we didn't cover the glorious, joyous fun, our tongue twisters, would it? I love a good tongue twister. They're always a crowd pleaser. And they tend to be everybody's go-to when they hear the word articulation or diction or clarity. Oh, I need to be clearer, so I'll do some tongue twisters. Great. And then they do the tongue twisters that they've been doing for years and years and years and years and can do perfectly without thinking, and then there's literally no point in doing them anymore. And that's the issue with tongue twisters. Wow, that was a roller coaster of an intro, wasn't it? Anyway, the issue for me with tongue twisters comes up because we seem to head straight there without the prep, and we complete them with no thought or mindful interaction at all. So basically just go through the motions, and then they're either too slushy to be useful as tongue twisters, or they're too good to be helpful or challenging as tongue twisters. So this, dear listener, is my tongue twister do's and don'ts, followed by a few of my current favourites because, I'm not going to lie, they change all the time, mainly because I get bored, sometimes because I get to the point where I can do one and I don't need to do it anymore, and also because clients love making them up and giving them to me. So these are inspired by many of the people I've come across in my career to date, whether it's a client or an amazing mentor or coach who have the most incredible repertoire of tongue twisters in their heads. And just as a reminder, tongue twisters help with clarity of articulation. We use them to energize sounds, to work on the response of our voices and our articulators specifically to all those complex and emotional and exciting thoughts that we have to communicate to our listener. So they're another really important part of the warm-up process after all of the release stuff that we've done to date. So you don't want to be just going, oh, I better warm up my voice. Peter Piper picked a packer. Peter Piper picked a packer. She shall on a seashore. She shall on a seashore. You got to think about them in a slightly more intricate and detailed way. So here we go. My do's and don'ts. Do focus on each sound in the word of the tongue twister rather than the word as a whole. Tongue twisters are about details, and details of sound formation and articulatory patterns. They're not used as an example of how we should be speaking. They're not for cleaning up sounds or taking away accents, any of that stuff. Well, not anymore, and not in my book. They're used as a way of focusing on the sounds that trip us up a lot. The certain sounds we come across that we find difficult, so that when you come to that sound in your speaking, your body knows what to do nice and clearly and easily and efficiently. Don't do them so fast that you can't hear any of the sounds and you miss all the detail. Sure. It's hilarious. And depending on the twister, you can end up in all sorts of sweary hijinks. Big up to Mrs. Puggy Wuggy and her square cut punt. Am I right? She says very slowly. But if you do them so fast you're not making the sounds properly, then there's literally no point in doing them at all, because we're using them to work on specific sounds. Okay, my next do. Do pick twisters that help practice the sounds that you know regularly trip you up. That's what they're there for. So if it's the bilabial consonants, the consonants we make with two lips, not talking about anyone in particular, but definitely me, then pick a tongue twister with loads of b sounds, p sounds, sounds, w sounds in there, all the sounds made with the two lips. Then we're using them to drill the specific problem to blend back into our overall speech and communication. So fill your little black book with the twisters that challenge your problem sound. Don't just do the ones that make you do all the swears, okay? We'll save those for party tricks. Don't continually do the same tongue twister over and over and over and over and over when you know you've nailed it. You big show off. That's the job done for that particular combination of sounds. So you need to move on to something else for a new challenge to keep developing. No one's really interested in how quickly you can say Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Well, somebody might be, maybe your mammy. You can keep the old one in there as a reminder and as a wee party piece, why the hell not, for your mammy on Christmas Day. But keep it fresh, change them up. It's boring otherwise. Okay, my next do use the whole body. So easy with tongue twisters to just be sat dead still and really focusing on the words. You got to get the body involved. Dance, jig, vogue them around the room, jump on your bed, walk around your flat. I love bouncing an imaginary basketball in front of me or throwing up and hitting an imaginary tennis ball. But just keep the body moving. Twisters can get really stilted and effortful, and using the body stops this. It gets us out of our head. Plus, it's pure crack. Sorry, pure fun. In case you're new to this and you don't know the Irish dialect term of crack, which means fun. And finally, don't take them too seriously. Like I said, have the crack. Keep them fun, keep them light, stay curious. You're not in some sort of tongue twister competition, although you might be. And if you are, congratulations, and I hope you win. Just play, play, play. Play, 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 play. Okay, without further ado, here are some of my current faves. Credit for which goes to all the sorts of people I've met along the way who've inspired some of these, who have actively given them or shared them, and some I made up myself. I've also got a big document of tongue twisters in the files section of the Voice and Accent Hub group on Facebook. So if you want some more and you're like, oh my God, give me all the twisters, then link in the bio to come join us in the hub if you're not in there already. All right, here we go. I'm going to have a preparatory drink. I'm going to end this dead dramatically with not too much of a sign-off, because I'll be all out of words and articulatory prowess by the time I get to the end. But here are 5, maybe 6 that I really like. Benedict Cumberbatch broke a delicate luggage rack. Benedict Cumberbatch broke a delicate luggage rack. Eddie edited it. Eddie edited it. Wicked cricket critic. Wicked cricket critic. Which wristwatch is the Swiss wristwatch and which wristwatch is the Irish wristwatch? Which wristwatch is the Swiss wristwatch and which wristwatch is the Irish wristwatch? Fern's thirsty firm thighs. Fern's thirsty firm thighs. And finally, the hardest tongue twister in the world, apparently. The sixth sick sheik's sixth sheep's sick. The sixth sick sheik's sixth sheep's sick. And with that, I'm off for a wee lie down, is what I'm trying to say. Enjoy those, and do feel free to share videos of yourself trying them in your stories and tag me on Instagram at NickRedVoice, because I bloody love it. All right, I'm going to practice that last one for days. The sixth sick sheep's sick. Repeat to fade. The sixth sick sheep's sick. Well, there we go. Thanks for listening to the Voice Coach podcast. To get the most out of your voice, come on over to our free community on Facebook, the Voice and Accent Hub. See you in there.